Welcome, everybody. You're not going to have any trouble with my Lancashire accent, are you? Okay, great. My name's Kerry Cooper, and I'm chair of the Academy of Social Sciences. And for those of you who don't know, this is the advert bit. The Academy of Social Sciences is comprised of 46 learned societies, 88,000 social scientists. And we now have 2 European bodies have just joined us as well. And we're getting more applications for European social science bodies, which is really great for us. So we're doing remarkably well. This is a wonderful time. This is our 8th Making the Case for the Social Sciences. Normally, it's been on topics like crime, aging, well-being among kids, climate change, and so on. However, this time we decided to do it on longitudinal databases and longitudinal studies. We think it's really important for the community. This is a community-oriented thing because we think it's vital that we maintain these databases. Indeed, Heather, who's going to be one of the speakers, is on the front page of The Independent today with what she's going to talk about for 10 minutes about her longitudinal database with kids. So it's really powerful that we have these databases. If you go to Scandinavia and places like that, in my field, quality of working life, they have databases that have been going on for 50 years, sponsored by government. Work-life balance and all those kinds of things. And, really important. And their studies are quite profound. So we do need this really important. And we're going to, I think you have the idea of the program, 2 short-term 10-minute presentations on 2 kind of case studies that make up the booklet. You each can get a booklet in the back if you haven't got your own booklet already. And then what we're going to have is the minister is going to come and he's going to speak for about 10 minutes. Then you can ask him questions. Be as rude as you want. No, I'm just joking. You can talk to the minister about anything that you're interested in. And then Polly Toynbee is going to kind of do a response, give her kind of take on it as well. And then we're going to have a half an hour of a panel. And in that panel, you can ask all the questions. It's up to you from that point on. I have a couple statements I have to make just about thanking the sponsors, which is SAGE, Ziyad Marar, who's the global director at SAGE, and he'll be speaking just in a couple minutes just to welcome you. And to thank the Campaign for the Social Science as well, both who've sponsored this event, and to the advisory group for giving their time and expertise. That's made up of Mike Wadsworth, former director of the MRC National Survey on Health and Development, academicians Diana Wilkinson, formerly the Scottish Chief Social Researcher, Tom Schuler, I don't know whether he's here or not, he was OECD and now director of Longview, and Professor Malcolm Johnson. And all those people who contributed. It's a great booklet. These are all booklets, just kind of tasters of what we as social scientists do. So it's really quite important. What I'd like to do now is just hand over to Ziyad Marar, who's Global Publishing Director for SAGE, one of the top social science publishers in the world. Ziyad.
Good afternoon. Delighted to be here to be at this launch of, I think, quite an important next step in the series of booklets that the Academy has done on making the case on longitudinal studies. It occurs to me that social science is experiencing somewhat mixed fortunes at the moment, and in the States in particular, I think we've seen some really hefty attacks on social science funding. I assume everyone's been following the story of Senator Tom Coburn, who's managed to partly achieve his long-term ambition of defunding political science research from the National Science Foundation, which is an extraordinary thing. While he was sort of defending on the basis of not wasting taxpayer dollars, you have to put that in context when you look at the fact that the budget he was targeting was an $11 million budget out of a $7.6 billion pot. So you'd have to wonder what the true motivation is for this piece of intellectual vandalism. And it's also the case, I think, that Tom Coburn's cohorts are doing the same, and House Majority Leader Eric Cantor has done a series of major speeches targeting social science funding in general, which is obviously a serious area for concern. I think when we look in the UK context, social science seems to be faring somewhat better. And the launch of the What Works centres, I think, are going to be a sign that there's going to be some more of a step towards evidence-based policy, which is great to see. But it's still a mixed picture in the UK as well. Anyone who was at the Academy event on implementing Finch back in November will remember the amount of consternation expressed by academics and learned societies about a one-size-fits-all to open access approach, where sort of big science debates are being read across into social science. And I think, therefore, it's clear that the social science story and message needs to be told and retold within the UK as well as, obviously, internationally. And so we at Sage want to play our part in that conversation. And indeed, later this year, we'll be launching with the LSE a book on impact in social science, which is the culmination of their 3-year study on what actually is true impact, and hopefully to contribute to a more nuanced understanding of what impact for social science might be. We're also hosting a major debate on social science and open access, which we hope a number of you will be able to attend. So today, longitudinal studies. I was thinking that 2.5 years ago was the launch of the Academy's campaign for social science at the House of Lords, and those of you who were there may remember where the moment where Polly Toynbee took the opportunity to make an open challenge to David Willits, saying, "Are you or not going to fund the National Birth Cohort Study?" And he sort of shuffled around. He's not here to confirm that, but he said, "It's on my desk, I'll be signing very soon." And then, happily enough, he fought for and found the money, and to his credit, it was funded, and I know Polly's going to no doubt talk about that later. But it seems apposite to remember that moment as we gather today to look at the significance of longitudinal studies, which are obviously such a major way that we can enable social science to drive understanding of ourselves and our culture. So I'll just end by congratulating the Academy for not just for today, but for their persistent and excellent efforts in enabling the social sciences to help make their own case. And I've no doubt that today will be a major step on that undertaking. Thank you.